Diamonds in my ring. I can get you anything. Yeah, money in the day. I can be the co-pilot, you can do the drive. You can be the star, baby, I can be the stylist. Know my name again and give a let's go to an island. What's to make you smile, but I'd rather bite your eyes. And if I'm far away from you, the ring will be reminded that nobody can do the things I do, I treat you kindly. And I ain't trying to value you, but I think you're the finest. Damn, you can't pick, I hope you don't go on a diet. I just brought you some presents, but tonight I will be blinded. White chain rings, and the rings that they shine. You should know I love it, but you can call me ice. So tell you if I hate on me, I don't want him to hide. Keep it low profiles on my car. You treat me to a petty percent of cure. Anything that I ask for from my concert, he go and bye-bye. A baby from Italian, I just got. My teeth, they speak Italian, walk so high. I told you, baby, thanks a lot. My concert, he go and bye-bye. He ain't no square, he just like to share. In love with a tip of throwing hundreds in the air. Those that hold her here. And Louis up the Louis up the Louis and back. And mama made it say, the Jojo girl say, hey, hey, feel like a drink for me. Feel like a drink for me. Something in the back for me. Myself, every weekend I keep the Dominicans in the chair. Hey everybody, Zio TMAC in the building. How everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Yep, shout out to you, Jerome, for putting my channel out there. I appreciate that. So I first want to start it out by giving a shout out to TMAC, the most hated chicks, my sisters. Love you. Fuck what you heard and fuck what you think you know. So before I get started on my topic, I just wanted to take a chance to basically, I don't want to go too much in depth about it, but I'm sure a lot of people are aware what has kind of transpired between two of the TMAC members, my sisters, and I wanted to start off by saying, um, Casmira, you know I love you, girl. You know that me and the rest of Team AC, we always have your back. And I'm sorry for what happened. And you did not deserve that. And anybody who knows Casmira knows that she's always been a decent person. You know, she comes from a fluent background. She is not a sex worker. So get that out your damn mind, get that out your mouth, because that ain't true. You don't have to be a sex worker to take provocative pictures. People send provocative pictures to their man, to their woman. So let's not roll with that narrative because that's false. She's a professional woman. She's a smart woman. She's helped men and women in this space. She's given some of you Negroes legal advice. So I don't want to hear no bashing of Casbera. And like I said, it's just very unfortunate that that happened to her. Also, want to give a shout out to Mother, and that wasn't right either. What had happened to her, and you know, anything that has to do with DV is always a scary situation, and no one's business should be put out there in that manner. That's a serious thing. People get killed behind stuff like that. And any YouTube beef or words
should never send you to want to have somebody get hurt in real life. And if you truly believe that, you're disgusting. And I'm gonna put that out there. And again, I love you. I love my sisters. Um, y'all gonna always have protection over you, and I send you healing vibes. So, getting into the topic, kept woman. I know some people probably triggered by that topic. So, what is a kept woman? A kept woman is someone who is supported financially by a lover. And don't get it twisted, there are kept men out here, but as far as this live is gonna go, I'm gonna probably be more leaning towards, women. But again, um, men can be kept as well. Okay, the kept woman can also be called, they're called mistresses, concubines, the other woman, escort, courtesan, sugar babies. They're kind of all, used interchangeably, even though technically some of those definitions slightly differ. But for the most part, most of those titles usually include the person, the woman, being taken care of. In these times, we tend to lean toward more saying like the other woman. And if you're Gen Z, then they call it the sneaky link, which can be used regardless of gender. Also know that sometimes with the sneaky link, it's not always, sometimes it's just a physical transfer of energy. It doesn't have to be financial, but again, it can be. And depending on how you are, it might start off being physical, and you know how that goes. You might get a partner that says, "Hey, if you don't want me saying something, hey, you gonna have to cough up." So, just saying, putting that out there. Um, kept women have been existing since biblical times. These women enjoyed the same rights as the actual wife. So these women were actually getting taken care of. Sometimes they even lived in the same home as the wife and the man, or the man might have had, especially in biblical times, maybe another part of the home or a home for her outside of their home. And the purpose was for conception, so that a man could have an heir because the wife was not capable of doing so. So in cases back in those times, usually when the man had um, the other woman, they had another woman besides their wife. It usually was because their wife again couldn't conceive a child, or they just wanted to have another woman. But regardless of either case, that woman was always taken care of. Kept women are still around today, and they are not necessarily used solely to carry a man's offspring, but are financially supported by these men. So, you still have, like I said, kept women today, or, they have the term, coined sugar babies. And these women particularly seek out men who are, financially stable and can not only afford their own individual lifestyle, but also um, the woman that they want to, have in their presence lifestyle as well. Excuse me. Today's men are not looking for love. I mean, I think a lot of us can agree on that. And in return, women have put love on the back burner, requesting compensation for their time. So, I think a lot of women, even if they don't coin themselves a sugar baby or having to necessarily be the other woman, because you don't necessarily have to be with a man who's already in a relationship to necessarily have financial stability. But if you do, most women are just these days you hear that women want to be kept. They want to stay at home and be a stay-home mom, or they want to they don't want to have to go outside and work and then have to come home and do, as these men in some of these spaces like the cornet, their womanly duties. Um, they feel that it's not fair. And I totally agree with that. It's not fair, especially when most of those men who spew those things aren't willing to go outside and work and then come home and help you change diapers and help you do dishes and help you clean up and help you run, little Brian to sports and all of those other things. So I don't think what women are asking for is too much, even though there are a group of people who will beg to differ. um, I don't know why, but hey, maybe because they can't afford it. Um, I I don't know. I don't know. But I think that's a I think that's a kind of fair thing to do. Hey, you bring home the bacon and in some cases, some people don't even want to fry it. And I don't think that's a bad thing either. I mean, hey, if you get a man who's, really doing his thing, I mean, you can hire help. That's not always the case, but I feel like at the end of the day, um that's what women want, and even if they are looking for a partner, as far as because it doesn't have to be. I think where a lot of men tend to get it wrong is that a lot of women are just solely focused on their financial status. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you need finances to take care of yourself, and we were just doing this based on emotions, and I love you, I care for you, and you don't have the finances to at least take care of your own self, or you don't have a place to live. um I can think of all the things that aren't even selfish or aren't even just superficial to go, I need a man to come with a certain something. If I love you and we plan on getting married, I need a man who can provide a shelter. I need a man who, we have children, we're able to take care of our children. We're able to clothe them. We're able to feed them. We are able to have health insurance. What if someone gets sick? What if I get sick? What if you get sick? What if our child gets sick? How are we going to get there? I need a vehicle. Um, so I don't think those things are asking for too much. And most women are just asking for the bare minimum. To really be honest, your average woman is just asking for protection, provision. And I don't think that that's too much. Now, if you're looking at Hollywood and you're looking at, the superficial, ways, and, some women are fortunate enough to live in that lifestyle, um, then yeah, you're gonna look at it from a very lopsided point of view, and most women are not looking for those things. And even if they are, that's nothing wrong with that. They can run into the right man who will be willing to give them those things as well. And these women, they receive gifts, they receive paid vacations, luxury apartments, homes, new cars, or hard cold cash. Some of these women, and that doesn't mean, again, it always has to be luxury items, and that alone makes you a kept woman. Because being a kept woman, at least from my definition, does not mean that you have to be riding around with, the fanciest of cars, and you have to be carrying the latest bags. And, if you are able to get those things, by all means, sis, do your thing. But that doesn't mean that that's what that is. Like I said, I feel like the average woman is just asking for a man to provide and to have the means to provide and to be able to stand on his 2 feet and not look at her Um, because, as how I look at a man is I'm looking at you for leadership. I'm looking at you for, again, protection. I'm looking at you for provision. And I feel like, if one thing fails for him, then he has plan after plan after plan. A man with a plan, to me, for in my eyes, can never be broke. He can never be broke. Period. And I honestly feel like that's giving men a lot of credit. That's giving a lot of credit. That shows that we are trying to say, "Hey, you guys are intelligent. You guys are strong. You guys, we're trying to give you the confidence to go out there and do the damn thing." It's not to tell you that to break you or to make you feel inferior. I think that you should have that. You should feel that way about yourself. If one thing fails, hey, I have something else. I have something else I can turn to, or I have this to turn to, or I have that to turn to. Whatever it is, that man knows at the end of the day, I have the means to take care of myself and my family. I'm gonna make it do what it do. So that's just my 2 cents on that. So, what does it take to be a kept woman? Be in the position of being a kept woman? I think number one is to have self confidence. You have to have self confidence in yourself. You have to also take care of yourself. If you don't have any self confidence and you're not taking care of yourself, I mean, by all means, that should be number one just for yourself personally. You shouldn't even be worried about even looking for anybody in your life, and that really goes for men or women. Um, and that's just my 2 cents on that. Also, I feel that number two, you need to know and set boundaries. I will say that again. You need to know your boundaries and you need to set boundaries. And this can go for men or women. I think everyone should have things that they know that they're willing to do when it comes to making the other person happy, and things that they know, look, I cannot do that. That goes against whatever, my morals, my religion, my whatever it may be. And you must stand on those boundaries at all times. Nothing can falter those boundaries. I don't care about money. I don't care about looks. I don't care about what this person is telling you by their mouth. If if it has to cross your boundary, let it go. No amount of money, no person trying to sweet talk you should ever make you want to go over your boundaries. Also, number three, frequent affluent areas. So I know that there's a lot of people who say, you can get, affluent men online. And that's true, but I always go back to the basics, and that's to look the best, find a style that you like, that fits your personality, that goes with your body type. Always have your hair done, always have your, whatever it is. And that doesn't mean that it could be your natural hair, it could be your, like, the specifics doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you do it well. That's it, that's all. Just do it well. Be the best you can be. Have your skin shine, and if you don't wear makeup, have your skin glowing. Use the cocoa moisturizer, like, whatever it is that you do it well. And those men will who are meant for you will be attracted to you. But go into those areas, go into the nice areas, go to the nice grocery stores. That's what I do. I get up, I get myself together, get in my car, I go get my car washed, and I go to these nice areas and I go shopping and I walk around, and, I go to the grocery store, and, all this. And I get looks and I get people who want to talk to me. And, that can also help you, being social, especially if you have social anxiety, which I can understand because I kind of do a little bit. But I would say in that case, at least it works for me, is to kind of have like an alter ego when you go out. That doesn't mean like you have to have a fake accent or something, but just kind of it's to help you step outside of your normal self. And once you start getting people who are talking to you, or men who come up and talk to you and ask you, oh, what perfume are you wearing and stuff, the more you do it, the better that you will be. So whenever you find yourself in a situation with a man who makes your comfortability his top priority while taking care of your mental health, he's a winner. I will say that again. Whenever you find yourself in a situation with a man who makes your comfortability his top priority while taking care of your mental health, he's a winner, because it is not only about finances. He has to be taking care of your mental health. That is very important. There is nothing like finding a man who has it all together as far as on paper, but he doesn't take care of your mental. He's abusive, or he talks to you, the wrong way, and he doesn't respect you. And no one wants that, because at the end of the day, it will never be worth it. And that goes for anybody. Nobody should accept abuse of any kind, man or woman. But like I said, just for video purposes, I've been using women a lot because I myself am a woman, but by no means is this just for women. So, being a kept woman, I'm thinking like if I want to see if I want to open the panel. Before I do that, I actually have a poem that I want to share with you guys. Just give me a minute. Okay, so the title of this poem is actually called Kept Woman. Our man is the best, yet in your arms is where he rests. Time is money, and money is time. He's the type that wines and dines. He's staying late at work tonight, even though he's really with me. In public, ducking and dodging, but I don't care who sees. Sometimes we stay at the apartment he rents for me. He rather stay in, but I love to go out so I can spend his cheese and live life stress free, and the finer things. He loves the both of us. You're his good wife, and I'm his good whore. I know at the end he wants to get laid, as long as he understands my expenses must be paid. On Valentine's Day, he brought you a range and later dropped off the beamer he put in my name. He's my knight in shining armor, and I'm his boo thing. He told me that he wanted a baby, but I'm only in it for the game. Most women side eye me. They see I have not a care in the world. In their mind, they despise me as I think of my bank account and all the zeros behind me. She secretly wishes was hers. I'm a kept woman, and I'm not ashamed. He better splurge to keep me entertained. I'm not going anywhere. I'm enjoying the privilege of luxury and living my life abundantly. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that poem. Um, I think I might just open up and go ahead and put the link down, get maybe a couple of people's thoughts. Just give me a moment. I know this topic can be quite a little controversial. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I put it in the chat. Let me know if it's working, if I did it right. If anybody would like to come up, the link should be in the chat. Let me know what you think on the topic. Anybody in the chat, a cat woman or a cat man? How do you feel about people who consider themselves to be kept? Can someone at least let me know if that link works? Yeah, I know I'm still trying to learn how to work this. I will. I'll get it. I'll get it eventually. Facts. I always love poetry. I'm a very artistic person. So I've been writing poetry for a couple of years now. Hey,
Get it.
Lucky.
You're getting good at it. Hey, Zio.
Hey.
Yeah, you dropped the right link.
Okay,
You know how to pin it?
perfect. Nope.
Oh, okay. Go to YouTube and then click on your comment, and it should ask if you want to delete or pin.
Oh crap. Mm, yeah.
I'm gonna just put the
Yeah.
link in the chat. See if anybody
Yeah.
else wanna come up. Let's see if any of
Yeah.
these. I want to see
Yeah,
if
I'll
any of
just keep
these niggas.
posting it. Yeah, I'll just keep posting it in the chat.
I hope Dwayne come back up here. His country accent was funny.
I know.
But yeah, I was just testing it out. Maybe Jerome can come up here, tell us how he started TMHC since he's the TMHC.
Not somebody trying to say they see,
I was
no.
just playing. I was just playing with him. He said that it came from Gnome Love from Manosphere.
Oh wow. Well,
You're saying that someone's pretending to be you. You go there and tell that somebody stole your icon because they came into our chat too. They came to this chat too with the thing. So I gotta hop down.
okay. So the link is in the chat if anybody wants to come up. If not, then I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I just thought I'd give people the opportunity to come up and maybe give a little input, reading some of the comments. Not treat them mean. Mama, treat them mean to keep them king. Low key, that's not really a lie. That's why they have the term good girl gone bad. Seems like these men they like a bad girl. Oh no.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up? What's up? How you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm doing good, Zio. I'm doing good.
So what brings you up?
Nah, I mean, just supporting the channel and you know, the topic is definitely interesting. Definitely interesting, you know what I'm saying? I mean, uh, you know, living in LA, I mean, that's where I saw it, you know what I mean? I went to Crenshaw and I did a year at Fairfax too. Um, and so yeah, I mean, that was like my first experience, right, seeing women that were kept and I used to tell my dad, like, I see these same women every day and they're just up and down Melrose. And it's like, yeah, these are women that their bills are paid for, their cars are paid for, their living situation is intact. There's somebody that pays for them. So they literally, go and do yoga and go work out, they go shopping, they have lunch, and then they do it all over again the next day. That's a real thing. So it is what it
Correct.
is.
No, super correct. A quick question, like have you ever ran or have you ever or do you know of like any, because I know we always talk about women and them, being sugar babies and being cat, but have you ever known like a man to live that lifestyle?
I mean, I've heard stories. Like I've definitely heard stories where there's like arrangements where there's young men that have been women that are in their 40s and their 50s and so on and so forth, and they get special privileges and they get flown here. And yeah, I've heard of those stories. I've never met any of those guys, but I've heard stories about that for sure. It's happening. But you got to
Gotcha.
realize that women, a lot of times, women, they're a lot more discreet about the way that they move. And men, we advertise everything that we do, whether it's music, whether it's all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the funny thing about all of this shit. Just sidebar, it's just like men and women are actually more similar than we actually give each other credit for. It's just that men just talk a lot.
Yeah, no, no, I definitely agree. Myself, I do, or I did, I should say, I did know a guy or two who kind of lived that lifestyle, but they were actually LGBTQ, but yeah, they lived that life. It was very lux, very lux.
Yeah, no, facts, facts. And by the way, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that one thing that I will say, and I don't want to take up too much time, but one thing I will say is I will tell you that for all of the guys, man, it's like, how many women are out here? Like, do you know just the variety of women that have different opinions and different ideas and different thoughts, and they have all types of ways that they live their life and they kick it? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason
Mhm.
to get triggered or get like in your feelings when you hear this. You know what I'm saying? Um, like yeah, there are women that those are just the balances of life. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like we said, low key, there's guys out here that they do their thing and they move a certain way and they have women that pay bills and take care of things. And I'm not talking on a low level. I'm talking on a high level. But women
Mhm.
just don't advertise it and they just don't put it out there. You know what I'm saying? But you don't. This is not a conversation because I don't want it to get confused that because dudes get scared because cats is not really out here living life and socializing. Like, not all women are really this. At the end of the day, most women, I would say, they want to be in a good relationship. They want to be happy and they want
Correct.
somebody that will provide and protect and do the things that a man is supposed to do for his family. You know what I'm saying? But then there are women that, man, they're not necessarily looking for that at the moment, and they just want to have a good time. They want to, do this and do that, and if they fit the part, then yeah, dude will scoop them up. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then there's women that have lived that life that it's like, this ain't really what it's cracked out to be because they're searching for something else and they want to be
Correct.
fulfilled. And then it all comes back around because life is like that. So, anyway,
Correct, correct. That lifestyle is definitely, you definitely have to be a particular type of person to truly deal with that because it is. And when you're speaking of quote unquote the kept women or the sugar babies who really live that more on a upper scale luxury lifestyle, it it's very transactional, and your emotions have to be in check. Your confidence has to be through the roof, and you have to move a certain type of way. And but I think for the most part, most women are not trying to necessarily live that lifestyle. I mean, in my opinion, like I said, especially when it comes to just your everyday woman, I think most women just, again, they just want to find a man who, number one, respects you. You want a man who respects your mind, respects your body, respects your spirit. And it's just very hard to find these days. And I think most women would say that is honestly number one. Um, and I also think that really meeting a man and really starting off about finances, um, it's almost equivalent of a man coming up to me and going, "Well, what do you bring to the table?" Because I feel that a man would, me being in his presence and him giving me conversation and getting to know him, will let me know that if, number one, if he values himself and his work ethic or whatever it is that he does for a living, and how that shines outside of what he does for a living, will ultimately show me that not only does he care for himself, but he would care for me all the way. He would not make any excuses. Why? Because he doesn't make any excuses for himself. What do you think about that?
That's 100% true. That can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. That's 100% true. I mean, one thing that I'll add to that, um, look, man, I feel like a lot of guys sometimes, they get it kind of confused because, I think, listen, if somebody wants to be with you simply because of what you can provide, that's a problem and that's an issue. There is a difference, right? But there is no
Correct.
problem with a woman in addition to her loving you and caring for you and being invested in who you are as a person, also wanting to be with you and being like, hey, this person can provide and protect for me, right? And I think
Correct.
that's a part that kind of gets confused. And the other thing I'll say is that there's a lot of dudes that um you've got social media, you've got the internet. We're not 19, 20 years old, so we kind of know the difference. But the average young lady today is exposed to a lot more. The world is smaller because of social media. So now, you can see what's going on in Russia and Norway or Switzerland or Tulum, where everybody's running around. And it's like, wow, I want to go there. I want to do these things. And this is stuff that, our parents didn't get a chance to do or weren't educated or didn't have the wherewithal or whatever it is. And so now people are exposed to much more, right? Because in the game of being a kept woman, and some of those women that I've known, I mean, not everybody's on, there's different levels to it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But if you want to,
Absolutely.
yeah. So just to land the plane, if you want to keep a woman, you've got to have things together. And a woman that really loves you and that's really down for you, she will stand beside you because more than anything, she believes in the purpose and the realness of this man. But at the same time, yeah, she wants to have a good time. She wants to, Popeyes ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to, Mastro's is not that expensive. Some of these other play, being able to travel and take vacations is not out of the realm of possibility. Being able to shop and you know, go out of, not just have to shop at Rainbow every day, but we can go to a nice store. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And a lot of times I just feel like we we just defeat ourselves and we live in this defeatist mindset. And then what happens is that we want to floss and then we wind up fake flossing. And then it's just this weird thing. And so, if you with a lady and you aspire to be with a woman, man, you gotta aspire to be on a level where you can handle business and you can take care of some things, so that you guys can go, water rafting, and you guys can go sailing, and you guys can rent a boat. And some of these things
Mhm.
are not that crazy, and
Correct.
you'll never have to worry about it. So yeah.
No, I definitely agree. And I think once you find that person that you link with and your spirits mesh together, and this person, you truly believe that person is the one for you, um, I think everything kind of tends to fall in place. And I mean that by, I think when, at least this is my kind of thoughts. I feel like when you're in a relationship with somebody, and when I think about the good relationships that I have had, I feel like things just flowed. Like this person poured into me, I poured into them, and it was just kind of like this balanced thing that kind of happened between us. And it was never thought of, or even spoken, like, oh, you're like one person trying to control the other, or one person feeling disrespected, or anyone feeling, I don't know what word I want to say, almost like they're nothing. Like it never was that way. So I think when people find that person, it just tends to work. You don't have to, you know, cry and whine about this person, and oh, you need to bow down to me, and you need to submit, or oh, you need to do this. I feel like people will just do certain things. Like for me personally, I hate cooking. I hate to cook. Now, do I love food? I sure do. But I feel like if I met that person, I feel like they would at least, I put it this way, they would at least give me the drive to want to cook for them. You get what I'm saying? And that's something big for me, because I don't care to do it. So that person, I feel like, would never really be in the position where it's like, oh well, you need to get in there, cook. They might come home, and it may not be the best, but they'd be like, well, damn, at least she tried. At least she cares enough for me that she got in there and tried. um, but yeah, that's that's my thoughts.
And that's funny too, because my granny wasn't really the best. She's a great cook now, but my granny wasn't really the best cook. It was actually my grandfather that taught her how to cook. um and then the same
Hmm.
thing even with my parents. Like my mom is she can do her thing and whatever it is, but my dad is, it's a whole event, because he's a messy cook. Like he can cook amazing food, Guyana, West Indian, you already know. But everything is scattered, and he bakes cakes and all of that stuff. Like, um yeah, my situation's a little different, you know what I'm saying? So it's I think a lot of times what happens is that these conversations between men and women, it becomes a mating call, and it just becomes, everybody just sort of sidelining on their respective sides. And at the end of the day, like, we can work around some of these minor things. And I can only speak for myself, but I look for a woman that's just got my back, that's honest, that's trustworthy, and that will believe in me, and that will rock with me, and the work that I've shown, and my resume as far as everything that I'm doing and who I am. And if you can't cook, I mean, I cook. That's my job for a living, so it's not a big deal. But even if I wasn't, you know what I mean. Like I still know how to cook even before I started, in the industry. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not this. It's not this. Well, she don't know how to cook and submissive, and it's just like it gets into this whole immature conversation. It's just like, man, see what I'm seeing. Like, look at this person that's across from me. Okay, she doesn't know how to cook, but does that mean that she's not a good woman? Does that mean that she's not somebody that you don't want to do the rest of your life with? Like a lot of times, it's just these bullet points, and men and women do it too, and it's
Correct.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
No, correct. I definitely agree. The crazy part is I was just talking to one of my my sisters, and I was just telling them like we was actually just talking about this, and I was telling them like I eat like a toddler. Like when I'm at home, I eat like a toddler. Like I like grilled cheese and peanut butter and jelly and anything that takes less than 10 minutes to make. Mainly because I don't like I think 2 is I don't like dirtying up things, like, I hate it, I want everything to be clean and straightened up, and I don't wanna have to be keep, like, cleaning up and all this other stuff, like, I like things to just kinda be the way they are, and I don't want them to be kinda touched and stuff, which is so crazy. I don't know where I get that from, but I just don't. It gets hot and just
Now,
I don't
now,
like
the
it.
now at the end of the day, now because I've in some of my past relationships, there were some girls that they didn't know how to cook. So me, I'm a little, and I'm giving away my sauce, but I would be like, hey girl, come chop up this lettuce. Let me show you how to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find a way to. Are you gonna get in there? Some I'm gonna handle the heavy stuff and the seasoning and roasting and frying and all of that type of shit. But at the end of the day, you gonna have to chop up something. Take this. Look, I got a garlic smasher. Come do that. You don't even gotta dice it with a knife. I got little nerdy instruments in from the industry and stuff. But I mean, it at the end of the day, man, like it's and even so, even in that, that doesn't mean that this person isn't a good person. It's just like they didn't learn how to cook or they don't like cooking or it is what it is. Times are different. Women are like I don't want to take this left, but like when you start talking about like international. And the one thing that I tell dudes, because my dad's a Guyanese, and I grew up, in Guyana. Shout out to all my West Indians. You don't know how we do. Um, like you got to understand in those places, the lifestyle is different. When you start talking about Dominican Republic and Guyana and Trinidad and Antigua, they don't work the way we work.
Mhm.
They don't work the way that we work. They don't have to do my cousins. What's today? They're gonna go to a party tonight. They're gonna go to work. That like it's a completely different atmosphere and culture. They don't have to work the way that we do, and they don't have all of the bills and all of the stress that we have. So a woman can afford to cook fresh food every day, and quiet is kept. The modernization of those countries is coming now that women are starting to be like, I don't necessarily know if I want to do that, right? Like things are changing. Like nobody really wants to slave over the stove every day. So I
Mhm.
think that we have to be a little bit more practical. Me personally, like I said, I grew up with my dad where there was a lot of times my dad would take over, especially on the weekends, and he would cook for us, and it was what it was. But my mom, especially now that my dad is a little older, my mom, she holds it down or whatever like that. But there's not this thing that you're the woman and this is your place and you gotta cook. It's like ain't nobody really tripping off that for real, for real. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I sound like somebody.
Yeah, but yeah, Celeste, that is that trick. See that they think they slick asking you to come in there and chop up some stuff. See, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna suck my teeth and I'm gonna be mad because I don't
Nah,
want to go in
nah.
there. No, just tell
Come on
me,
now.
babe, the food's ready, and I'm gonna
Nah,
be
you
like,
gotta. Nah,
yee.
listen, I would do that. Well, see, again, I don't care because I'm gonna give away my sauce. And I see me when I cook, I play music. So naturally, like, and especially when I got my girl, I'm gonna always put something. I'm not gonna play like the Cardi B. I'm not gonna play the hits. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find something that she hasn't heard, but it's knocking. You know what I'm saying? It might be some Vibes Cartel. It might be something that she might have. You know what I mean? And I put that on, and then I start doing my thing, and I can cook and dance and turn up and all of that type of shit. And I'll be like, hey, come girl, and y'all know how y'all ladies get. Y'all like something, y'all want to, whatever. Hey, come, just let me show you something real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a kiss on the cheek real quick, and just finish that up just like I taught you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
You, you can put on whatever you want, honey. I'm still not going in
You
that
feel
kitchen
me?
until the food is ready. Okay, I'm
You
still
know,
not going in there
come
until the
on now.
food's
You got to
ready.
you got to contribute something. You got to
I
contribute
am
something.
contributing. I'm eating it. That's what I'm contributing. That's a
That's your
thank you.
contribution. Wow,
Yes,
wow,
that's my contribution.
wow.
But no, but the crazy part is I actually, for me, men cook better. Like I don't know what it is, but men can cook. Oh my God, mwah, like they cook so good. And the a man actually has done my hair the best. Like a man hairstylist. Oh my God, my hair had was just amazing, and a man did it. And I was just like, I mean, you guys are talented, to be honest. So sometimes I'm just like, do you really want me to do it? Because I'm sure you can really throw that, that
Okay,
little bam on
all
there and it
right.
just be
Now,
popping.
okay, now Zio, this is your show. I got love for you and your show. It is what it is. Come on now, stop.
What?
Y'all have been. I've
What?
seen Mother Earth sell that
It's
bullshit.
the
I've seen Celeste
truth.
sell it. There is nothing like a woman that puts it
Right.
together.
This
That puts it
Millicent,
together. There
they
is nothing
season
like a woman.
better.
There is
They
nothing like a.
do.
Yeah, but you know what? Okay. So for and this is for the women in the chat. When y'all say that, I hope y'all are separating the experience of when you go to restaurants that are run predominantly by men and like the men that you've been with. Let's separate that for a second because that's where I feel like this is kind of like there's a little bit of an overlap. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, most of these restaurants are run like sous chefs and head chefs and chef cuisines. They're run by men. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's where your gauge is at. But like, go back to your boyfriends. Most of these cats ain't really cooking like that. There's some dudes here and there that can do some things, whatever, whatever. But all those attention to details and spices, are those? Was that with your man, or was that with at the restaurant and you saw a male chef and come on now.
No, that was at a restaurant, that was with my man, because even when I think about those rough times where I was with a man who, he was from the hood or whatever, and he didn't have very much. He go in there and whip up some eggs, whip up some potatoes, and whip up whatever it is he got in there, or mix some to make. He threw something together, and it is what it is. I mean, he did it. He did the damn thing, and I ate it. It was good, obviously. So, I mean, it ain't gotta be nothing major. I ain't saying like you gotta be a dude off the Food Network. I mean, if you are, I mean, awesome, great. I love that type of cooking too. But yeah, I mean, I've had men who, I mean, they made sure I ate, whether they took me out or they did it themselves. And it might have been some little concoction they made, or, they went in there and really did the damn thing. But they did it.
I mean, I okay. I received that. I take that. I'm not gonna argue about that. I'll rock that rock.
You just want to argue me down, huh?
Nah, no, not at all, not at all. But no, it's I don't. You know what it is, but I think with men, I think also too, there's like the subconscious of it, where the first woman that we've ever experienced was our mom, and so there's like that extension, whether it's relationships, whether it's interactions, whether it's you know intimacy, like there's like this subconscious application of things that we've been exposed to from that first woman, and it works the same thing, the same way for women when it comes to men. And so I think that that's what it is. And so that setting of looking at mom, and I know this is weird, but looking at mom doing it and then just being like, yeah, and I got this woman and she does it and she takes care of me, and it's this there's a certain quality, something that touches us in a very profound way. And like again, and I make jokes about it, we all joke about it like as men, but there is a feeling when you, as a man, when you come home and you've been working all day, you're stressed out, whatever, whatever, and there is a home cooked meal and your woman put it down for you. That is, there's few feelings that come close to that, man. Like, just is what it is. So I think it's more of that feeling, if you understand me.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, thank you for coming up and sharing your thoughts. I'm
Yeah, I'm
going to
about
get
to
ready
drop
to
down.
wrap this up.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
Appreciate you. Yep.
Well, everybody, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for coming out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, press the like button, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. I'm going to be trying to do more lives often. It'll be about various topics, and I always want to share my poetry writing with you guys. Just to get a little peek on, my thoughts and my artistic views. I might even just dedicate some lives totally to my artistic ways, and I might even show some paintings or something. You never know. Again, just want to give a shout out to my TMAC sisters. Again, I love you girls. Stay strong. We're gonna be strong, all of us. And just to, put it out there, we ain't going nowhere. I repeat, we are not going anywhere. So, again, thank you to everyone supporting me tonight. And everyone, have a good night. This is ZOTMAC. Good night, gang, gang.